Hey folks, welcome to another Triple T Thursday. For those just joining us, that's Tools, Tips, and Talk, where we'll discuss info for the knife maker. In today's episode, a couple of exciting things. First, a tour of the new shop. Well, it's not really a new shop, but I've spent the last 2 weeks retooling the shop and setting it up differently. So I'm excited for you to see that. Plus, a big announcement at the end, so stay tuned for that. Let's go take a look at the shop. So let's take a walk through the new forge. Yes, it's a two-car garage, but let's go in and take a look. We will start with my normal work table where most of the work gets done on blades and a lot of my filming. I've got some big pillow lights up here. That hasn't changed. Actually, I did add the vise. So here's the first improvement. There used to be a table here, and the grinder was attached to the table, and I found I was spending more time cleaning the table than I was grinding. So what I did was build a grinding stand. Okay, and you can see, okay, it's very similar to the Ameribraid grinding stand, if you've seen that, except I took the design from my buddy Jared at Echo Blades, and I put, and you'll see this from the other side, the dust collection system up through the center of the stand. Let's go around the other side. So here's a better shot of it. The dust collection comes in here. There's a pipe from inside, and it goes to this, which is very cool. Really solid stand. It barely moves. So it's really solid. I'm really happy with that. And it also just gives me more space, and now I can just clean up the dust by sweeping the floors instead of trying to clean it off the tables. Much easier. My press, most of you will have seen that before. I was asked, and I'm going to go down and show you guys, the foot pedal. So let's take a look at that. So here's the foot pedal. All this is a bar that I've drilled through the legs, and it's freestanding, okay? And then there's just a piece underneath here, like a tube, that's welded to a plate. And then this just goes up, and it's connected to the valve here. And then you want it to go down, up, and it's as simple as that. And it's nice because now I can sweep underneath it, and it's pretty solid. So yeah, there's the foot pedal design for the press. Very simple. Okay, moving along, there's a sink, so your wife doesn't get mad at you for coming in and washing your hands inside. A bunch of junk. And then I basically reconfigured the center of the shop here. I've put all the machine tools. Here you can see the lathe and the mill, which I'll go over those. I've put those at this side so that I can have the forging area in the center. So the new rolling mill, which I've done a video on that I'll link up at the top. Fantastic machine. The rolling mill lets you flatten stock really easily. It's an excellent piece of machinery. New Anvil stand. So I got rid of the janky sandbags and basically just, I still have 6 4x4s underneath here, but I just encased it in wood and then filled that wood on either side with rocks. So this thing doesn't move, even if I wanted to. The other nice thing is now I have room to stand on either side of the anvil, which I didn't before. So that I'm excited about. Plus I put in some hammer holds and tong holders. So very happy about the space around here. Here's the next addition. The new forge. So there'll be a whole video on the new forge this weekend. Nice rolling doors. The forge is, you'll notice it's really high. It's about 5 feet high. So it's rated eye level, which is really nice. I built a whole new stand for this guy as well. and it runs amazing. So you're going to see that in this Sunday's video. The whole build, including the ribbon burner. Then moving on, this is the table that I used to have the grinder on. And I've kind of spun it around, faced it the other way, so that basically all the drawers and stuff are on the front. I've got my vise on the corner here, and my drill press is now mounted, screwed down, bolted down. So I'll take you around front and we'll take a look. So this is where I've got my post vise. It's just mounted in a bucket of rocks so that it doesn't move. I've got all my drawers here with all my tools and wood. So really happy about that. This is kind of my grinding area. So now my grinder, I can reach the other vise over there, or I can grind stuff in this vise, which is amazing. I put the table saw up here. It's got a hose for the dust collection that will reach, so it doesn't really generate that much dust anyway. I've also got my, down here is my portaband, which I lock in the vise, so I can use that, and there's a foot pedal down here to activate that. I've got my my cold cut steel saw here for cutting stock, which I use to build all of the stands, the forge stand and the grinder stand. So super useful tool. Old Faithful horizontal bandsaw, which I use for cutting stock and slicing up Damascus. So invaluable piece of equipment there. So here we've got the HRC tester. I keep it covered just to keep all the dust off of it. This is my leatherworking station, also where I've got my ferric chloride and coffee and a bunch of junk under there and a bunch of scrap steel. But I do a lot of work here. This is my heat treating station with my even heat LB18 oven. My dual quench tanks, Parks 50 and Parks AAA, and I've got my aluminum quench plates there as well. So do all of my heat treating here. And finally, this is my welding station where I do any kind of welding. I've got a titanium 200 Pro welder, does all three, stick, MIG, TIG, and I've got the gases for both. And more storage. This is where I keep my hot salt burner and my hot salts. And of course the customary dartboard for when one gets bored in the shop and needs something to do. Here's a closer shot of my PM25 mill from Precision Matthews. Love this mill. I use it on many projects for doing guards, for doing shoulders. Invaluable piece of machinery. It's a little dusty right now because of the move. And here's my enco lathe that a buddy of mine gifted me. It was in rough shape when I got it, but I restored it, and now I use it occasionally for all kinds of different projects, including the Quillian dagger and a bunch of other things, and you'll see it in the future as well. So here's the shot from the back corner here. The press is to my right, and the grinder over here. So that is my work area, folks. Hopefully you got something out of the way I've organized the shop. I may tweak it a little bit yet, but that's where I'm working. So I hope you guys liked the shop tour. If you have any questions, put them down below in the comments and I'll try to answer them. And now on to the big announcement. Triple T is now going to be sponsored by Maritime Knife Supply. So I'm thrilled to have Lawrence Lake at Maritime Knife Supply sponsor the weekly Triple T videos. If you're not familiar with Maritime Knife Supply, definitely go check them out. They've got everything from quench oil to steel to handle material to you name it. They've got everything. And yes, they're up in Canada, but they ship to the US. You can even shop in US prices. Plus,
other prices you can ship from different places around the world, that you can shop rather. So go check out Maritime Knife Supply. The shipping down to the US is just as fast as the US locations. So check them out and go give Lawrence some love, and you'll be hearing more about Maritime Knife Supply in every Triple T. Also, for my Patreon members, I'm going to be doing a $100 gift card for Maritime Knife Supply. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for patrons. If you're not a patron, then go hit that link down in the description for my Patreon and go check that out. So next Friday, I'm going to be doing that giveaway. So definitely check that out. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll talk to you next time.